Okay, so Charlie, what would you say is the biggest challenge for property investors now compared to last summer?
Well, last summer everything was really in disarray still. This was still very early in on the pandemic and our understanding of everything. Um, whether or not to wear masks was still very much a big debate. Well, I guess that's still a debate later on, but even more so at that point, things were still much more shut down. And so, I mean, really last summer, it was, at least especially in June, July timeframe, it was still very much, how is this all going to work out? Am I going to get rent from my renters? Are my renters going to have jobs? Do they have jobs currently? What's their status? And it was just so much unknown, and it was a lot more just kind of hanging on and hoping for the best at that point. Now at this point, a lot of that has worked itself out. We've had a number of folks who, if they couldn't pay their rent, some of them just moved out on their own, or they worked out a deal with the landlord or homeowner where they kind of delayed rent, or said, okay, if you can find another place in 30 days, we won't charge you rent this month, things like that, so that a lot of any of the potential issues or issues that had popped up, really at this point are not no longer an issue. The pendulum is, and we've had also a lot of people renew last year. So again, same reasoning. There was a lot of uncertainty in the marketplace. So nobody was really comfortable saying that they wanted to go find somewhere else to live if their job was uncertain, the location of their job was uncertain. So again, everybody was just kind of hanging on. That clearly changed as the year went on, especially kind of towards the end of the summer and going into the fall, when the real estate market really started picking up in general. And now at this point, the pendulum has really swung the opposite direction. So now, owners, the biggest challenge they have is a lot of the time whether or not they want to continue to rent out or sell the property, which we know a lot of property investors are selling right now due to the market. And the other thing is getting, if a tenant is moving out, getting that turned as quickly as possible, because again, real estate market is very hot. But there's a lack of supplies. There's a lack of labor. I mean, home builders are kind of in the news a lot these days because they're delaying building because of input costs. But the same is true for a lot of rentals, where if you have a lot of work that's needed on the inside, you're not necessarily able to turn those properties as quickly as you were before. So it's a lot different environment. Fortunately, there's less uncertainty about, am I going to have a job in a month? There's some of that, but not nearly as much of that. But it's much more, okay, for me as a property investor, what makes the most sense, to cash out now or to continue to move forward? And if I am moving forward with rental, how do I maximize my return and really take advantage of this market, and turn those units as quickly as possible? Okay. All right, guys, let me stop the recording.